What is vibe coding and how to use it responsibly? Prepare to have your mind blown because the world of coding is about to take a wild, exhilarating turn. We're diving headfirst into the controversial and electrifying realm of vibe coding. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't just about writing code. It's about redefining who gets to play in the sandbox and how they do it. So buckle up, because we're about to explore the uncharted territories of AI-assisted coding. And trust me, it's a wild ride. Let's set the stage. Vibe coding has burst onto the mainstream scene, and it's not just the tech geeks and startup founders who are getting in on the action. No, this is coding for the masses, and it's about to shake things up in a big way. But don't get too comfortable, because all hell is about to break loose. Now, I'm not here to tell you whether vibe coding is the next big thing or a passing fad. I'm just here to make sure you don't get caught in the crossfire. Last month, I wrote a piece about the merits of using generative AI to do your work for you. The idea was simple. Don't be AI's editor. Let AI be your editor instead. And let me tell you, that notion struck a chord. It's been the foundation of AI since the 1980s. And it's something that a lot of the AI hype machines have been ignoring until recently. But here's the thing. I've been in the trenches, building this stuff since the 2000s. I brought some of the first generative AI to market in 2010, and I've seen it all. I've got a simple solution for how to join the vibe code party without ending up in hot water. You'll have to wade through some nonsense to get there, but it's necessary nonsense. Let's talk about knowing your vibe limits. I had a young colleague come to me with an idea that was both ambitious and naive. He wanted to vibe code the next Shopify. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the motivation, but let's be real here. Shopify has been around for nearly 2 decades with a team of brilliant business minds, boatloads of cash, and armies of seasoned developers. And I'm pretty sure they're already building their own AI models and tools. But don't let that discourage you. Let's start with that motivation and see where it takes us. Vibe coding is the new spreadsheet, and that's not as boring as it sounds. Think about it. The AI coding assistant tools that let you and me vibe code are just an abstraction layer on top of real code, just like no code and low code, even like modern SaaS platforms. Your HubSpot or Google Analytics dashboards are just an abstraction layer on top of data. And spreadsheets? They're the original abstraction layer. Back in 1979, when Apple released VisiCalc, it was a game changer. It was visual math in a box, and it made everyone's job and life a lot easier. It was the equivalent of 1,000 robots pounding away on 1,000 calculators. You just had to enter the starting numbers and tell it what you wanted, albeit with clunky commands and complex formulas. It would be years before personal computers, let alone spreadsheets, went mainstream. But when they did, spreadsheets were magic. And yes, entire businesses were built around the magic of visual math in a box. What experienced business minds and developers were able to do with math magic is what became the software we all still use today. Data is still the fundamental engine. It still powers everything. Software is still just easier to use spreadsheets. Now I know what you're thinking. This is all well and good, but how does it apply to vibe coding? Well, let me tell you, the people who work to make those statements sound less silly are the ones who are going to build the next Shopify or the next billion-dollar tech company. And they will use a lot of AI, including vibe coding, to get it done. To extend the code party metaphor, those are the people who rent the house we're all partying in. The VCs and private equity folks are the ones who bought the kegs. Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Dario are taking turns DJing. But here's the thing. Even today, in a lot of cases, the math magic behind a simple spreadsheet can be the difference between great business execution and poor business execution. So can vibe coding. That's what you need to do with that motivation. Start your own party. I get it. I get that feeling of satisfaction and fun and promise when you make something out of nothing with a little help that you never knew was all the help you needed. I get wanting more of that. I get the possibilities seeming to be endless. And they kinda are. I remember my first spreadsheet, one I created for my household budget, and I was like, I'm never going to lose track of my money again. I'm still using the same concepts in my job and in my life that I used when I developed that spreadsheet. I vibe coded this past weekend. I built a new product and launched it. It wasn't the next Shopify, but it generated revenue immediately. So pour me another shot. Just remember that the cops always show up to the best parties. If you're going to vibe code something worth vibe coding, you'll need sensitive data and universal access. This opens up privacy and security issues that AI is not good at. You need to be good at it. If you're going to vibe code something useful and valuable, you'll need to have intimate knowledge of the process and the problems you're vibe coding for, and the same intimate knowledge of the solution that AI has dumped into your lap. If you don't know how AI solved a problem for scenario A, you won't be able to tweak the solution for a slightly different scenario B. And believe me, AI is a hammer and every problem is a nail. So make sure you alternate those AI shots of fireball with a nice glass of boring water. Take a breath and figure out exactly what you're doing. Then pour another shot. Oh, and if you're that one guy or gal at the party who thinks that AI can solve its own problems without the excellent business minds and the seasoned developers you just laid off, you're going to be left holding the bag when the cops show up and there's no one left to hand the citation to. Shoot me an invite to your party by joining my email list. I can't say I'll be there. I've got my own social calendar to manage. But I can't wait to see what you come up with. So, what do you think? Are you ready to dive into the wild world of vibe coding? Or are you still on the fence? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And remember, the future of coding is here, and it's vibe or die. Unlock rapid innovation with Vibathons, the future of hackathons. Vibathons are taking over hackathons to rapidly increase innovation. Teams rapidly prototype new ideas during high-intensity Vibathon sessions by leveraging AI tools. By 2 p.m., teams test a working prototype of an idea that didn't exist earlier, but could lead to breakthroughs. This marks the evolution of innovation, where speed, creativity, and AI-driven prototyping redefine problem-solving. Welcome to the age of Vibathons. www.facebook.com/real104808730213. Also known as fortune.com/2025-0306. Silicon Valley CEO says 10 engineers do the work of 100. Here's how to use it. AI-powered innovation sprints designed for the next generation of problem solving. Organizations like Microsoft host these coding jam events where energy meets innovation. A Vibathon is a shorter, more intense version of a traditional hackathon that prioritizes speed, creativity, and AI use to accelerate innovation. Unlike conventional hackathons that may stretch over 48 hours, Vibathons often run for 4 to 6 hours. They reduce burnout risks by focusing on rapid prototyping and inspired decision-making. The goal isn't to ship a perfect product. Instead, Vibathons aim to build tangible solutions and unleash creative momentum. While traditional hackathons reward brute force effort and deep technical stacks, Vibathons emphasize velocity, product thinking, and cross-functional collaboration. It's less about raw code and more about designing ideas quickly and making them work. More for you. Speed is the new strategy. In an era where the biggest bottleneck isn't technology, but time, speed becomes a competitive advantage. Vibathons compress the innovation cycle, utilizing AI tools such as code generators, design assistants, and smart workflows to turn rough ideas into usable prototypes within hours. Vibathons aren't about aiming for flawless execution. Teams bring ideas to life through hands-on experimentation, uncovering what works and turning fast failures into valuable feedback loops. These events transform brainstorming into real-world solutions. Vibathons aren't about aiming for flawless execution. Teams rapidly bring ideas to life through immediate, hands-on experimentation. They expose what works and what doesn't, turning fast failures into valuable feedback. www.forbes.com/Cheryl Robinson/2025-04-07. The New Language of Leadership, 6 Phrases That Change Everything. Why AI is at the center. Participants are encouraged to use generative AI to streamline development. Writing code, generating wireframes, crafting product copy, or simulating user feedback focuses less on busy work and more on solving actual problems. This approach positions the company as a leader in its market, reducing the burden on developers. Here's how to run a high-impact Vibathon. Set a bold, clear prompt. Frame the sprint around a specific question or challenge. Examples include, what's a manual process we could automate in the next hour? If we had to launch a new feature by tonight, what would it be and how would we do it? How could we use AI to solve a customer problem we've been ignoring? And how might we use existing internal data to deliver new customer value? What would a radically simpler version of our service look like? How could we reduce customer support tickets by half using AI tools? A cross-functional group collaborates in real time, transforming bold prompts into tangible solutions. Invite a diverse mix. This shift opens the door to designers, product thinkers, marketers, and team members without coding experience to contribute meaningfully, using AI tools as force multipliers. Prioritize momentum, not polish. Use a timer. Limit each build phase to 60 to 90 minutes. Encourage quick, scrappy progress. Remind teams this is about proof of concept, not production code. Integrate AI into every step. Provide access to a variety of AI tools, such as coding assistants, design generators, no-code tools, and tutorials to level the playing field early, ensuring everyone makes the most of these powerful tools. Share prototypes, then debrief fast. This step is crucial in fostering a collaborative environment. End with brief, high-impact demos. Focus the debrief on what teams learned, not just what they built. The real outcome is insight. Capture learnings, not tasks. Avoid turning this into a meeting recap. Instead, document big takeaways and new ideas sparked by the sprint. Let the momentum carry into the next work cycle. Real industry disruptors are those who rapidly experiment and learn. Vibathons create a container for that kind of thinking. They push teams to transition from planning mode to building mode without waiting for approval from above. They're not just fast. They're focused, energizing, and deeply instructive. Because in the age of AI, the next big thing isn't built by committee. It's prototyped in an afternoon. More from Forbes. Forbes Megabade founder helps women accept their bodies one swimsuit at a time. Forbes, How Chasing Rejection Fuels Success for Creative Leaders. Forbes, Beyond the Creative Status Quo, How Creators Are Reinventing Success.